plan.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of Good Morning Anambra. And it's our first discussion segment this morning. We'll be looking at very important themes of the day. I am David Opopasile, and with me is...
My name is Sijana Uche. Very good morning to you and welcome.
Yes, good morning and welcome again. Like I said when we started, this is where we look at very important topics, issues that happen around us. One thing that we journalists encounter very across board is whenever you visit communities, people will be telling you, look at what government will do for us, look at what government have not done, look at what government must do. And then sometimes you ask them, what has government actually done? And then what are you doing to protect those things that government have done for you? And that will be the focus of our discussion this morning, protecting government facilities in the communities. If you rephrase it, because we are government, we elect the people that serve in government, you can as well say protecting our facilities in our communities. So that will be the focus of our discussion this morning. And we have Honorable Leo Muba, Transition Committee Chairman, Oka South Local Government Area, here with us to look at the topic. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning.
We also have Mr. Paul Sinokeke, Public Affairs Analyst, also joining us in the studio to look at this important topic.
Good morning, viewers. You're welcome.
Good morning. All right. You listened to my brief intro before we introducing you. When we talk about government facilities in our communities, what are those things we are looking at?
Well, government facilities are those infrastructures that is government put in place for the citizens, for the welfare of its people. We talk of drainage channels. We talk of roads. There are many of them. Talk of civic centers, and on and on and on. So even equipment facilities, in terms of agriculture, the government can provide equipment for the people. Like you here now in ABS, the government can install equipment here. Like all these things are installed by the government. You can see. So starting with you, how far are you taking care of these equipments? How often do you switch off? Immediately the equipments are not in use. You have to inculcate that discipline of switching off all the facilities.
Okay, you really wanted to start with us.
Exactly.
Don't worry, we are coming to the government. Well, growing up as a young girl, I've always heard people say that government property is nobody's property. And I shouted when I now knew what it was all about, and I asked, what a deception. Okay? And if you ask me, I know that this is a general concept of most Nigerians. Since it's a government property, let's just use it anyhow. And I'd like to find out from you, a person. Who bewitched us? How did we get to this level?
You see, what we're talking about here is maintenance culture. You see, many times the governors have been telling people, take ownership of the projects in your area. It is very simple. You see, when people begin to say, it is not my property, it does not concern me, that is how we got to this point. Lack of maintenance culture. The moment people begin to take ownership of government's project in their area, you understand, ongoing road projects, you keep on monitoring the contractor, you keep on ensuring that what is supposed to be done is done. Covers should be done according to specification. You ask the contractor, what are you doing? Let us see what you are doing. Because it is our project. It is not just your project. It is government project for our own benefit, and government has paid you. Therefore, you should do it as it's required according to specification. That is taking ownership of the government projects in your area. There's ongoing transformer in your area. Government has done well to bring transformer for you. You should not leave it. you should make extra effort to build fence around you. Otherwise, you experience continuous vandalization. And it will defeat government's purpose of bringing it. You see, most of the time, you see people, when government build roads, put culverts, a man who wants to develop a property behind the culvert will go and bring laterite and fill the culvert for a tipper to move into his property, to dump site for him to develop. It is wrong. These are things we are saying. People should take ownership. Somebody next door should ask him, neighbor, you are not supposed to do this. If you want to develop this property, build culvert first of all for this tipper to move into your property, other than filling the drainage with laterite, and you bring a heavy-duty tipper, it will come and destroy the culvert. So these are what we are saying in our society, in our communities. People are so lackadaisical. People are so unconcerned.
Why does it seem like, or why are people so lackadaisical about government properties in their areas? Where did that mindset start? Like you said, you always hear people say, "Oh, yeah, government, don't worry."
That is what we are saying.
Yes, why?
That attitude of it doesn't concern me, the government or bronkai, and you'll be saying, my friend, what you are doing is wrong. If I in a matter of government.
Exactly.
And he will be doing it. You see, we need reorientation. That is basically what we're saying.
Okay. I know that the Igwes are the chief securities of their different domains. And we also have town union presidents that is now considered perhaps as the fifth tier of government, because we are the fourth, the media. Okay. Okay.
The fourth estate.
Yes. And we also have the transition committee chairman, that's the local government chairman. Because it's not always, because when we say government, we all look at state government. And to maybe state government to get out of their way to come to the people directly. When we have people like the Igwes, the town union presidents, and then the transition committee chairman, what are they doing to make sure that these facilities are well protected?
Well, thank you very much. The transition committee chairmen are doing a lot of work in their respective areas of jurisdiction. But I want to talk about my own area, Oka South Local Government. You see, our people have formed the habit of, I don't care. Once it is government property, they don't care. You see, for instance, he's my supervisor for finance. As you see him here, he's operating on dual capacity. We have set up a committee that will apprehend people who disrupt the road, the activities of people. Because if you want to make use of government facility, other people equally wants to make use of government facility. But you see people who wants to build, they will come and dump their trips of sand, trips of stone on the road, on public road. You see, this is not what the road is meant for. You see people who will be on during one festivity or the other. You see them burning tires on the road.
Okay, you say you set up a committee.
Yes.
So what are they doing?
The committee are already apprehending them. Like we are about to enter this Imoka festival, this annual festival of Oka people. And that is one of the reasons I have to put this committee in force. Because one thing I hate about people during Christmas period, during any festival period, you see people burning tires on the road. What for? What is the essence? What do you intend to achieve? By the time you finish doing that, that portion of the road, you reduce the strength of the road structure. And within a short time, the road will cut from there.
And when they arrest them, they cop it, what do you do with them?
Yes, we charge them. Most of the time, we take them to court. You know, the magistrate court are there for the local government to assist us in executing most of our activities.
Has anybody been convicted?
Well, most of the time, they pay fines. Yes, they pay fine.
Okay. All right. Still on this, looking at the local government platform or tier of government where you belong, beyond the punishments or the arrests or the enforcement of these disciplines, is there anything you're doing? He mentioned something about reorientation. Is there anything you're doing in your capacity to reorientate people's mindsets against using government properties as if it belongs to no one?
Yes, we are doing something. Like now, we have enacted a bylaw that will check people who dump refuse inside the drainage channels. And this law will catch people because our people have formed the habit of blocking the drainage channels. And now that the rainy season is around the corner, we have already put announcement all over the town for people to open up their drainage channels. You see, those are part of the maintenance culture which we have to imbibe. The government have put these facilities for the good of our people. But when you see people blocking these drainage channels, they don't know they are doing themselves no good. Because once the drainage channel is filled up, the flood will find its way. You can never block the flood. The flood must be on steady flow as long as the rain is on. So, and it can find its way into the people's residence. So I've instructed my people to open up their drainage channels. Anybody, by the time we have given them about 2 weeks to do this, after 2 weeks, we'll start enforcing the law. Because you don't have to expect the government to do it for you every time.
Okay.
You see,
we are government, all of us. Yes. And one person was talking. He mentioned about if you have something like a transformer installed in your community, the effort you make to protect it from being vandalized. I asked a question about the duties of the e-ways, the PGs, and then the transition committee chairman. You have something to say about this?
Yeah, their duties they should be working hand in hand to ensure peace, harmony in communities, and security as well. But you find out a situation, the level of people, the mindset of people we have these days. When you see people behave, you ask questions. Are these people, are they thoroughly bred? You see young men, you see people, you see even adults like some of us. You see us behaving like people who are not fully, and they are azo. And then I say, are these people, what are they impacting on the youth? You see a man driving on the road, he will be driving like as if he's out of his senses. You see a man walking on the road and doing so many other things. We need reorientation, honestly speaking, because one is that people are so unconcerned about what is happening in their society or in their communities. For instance, we should be our neighbors' keepers. But when you see a man being in his house, something will be happening outside. Perhaps people will be screaming, shouting. Maybe somebody in danger. You say,
all right, sir. We'll come back to why this kind of mindset seems to be predominating in an Igbo land where we celebrate communalism. That will be the focus of our discussion and several other issues that will be coming up after this break. But we went to the street to also get people's impulse about this topic. Stay with us.
The government facilities in the rural area or the community, as you call it, first the government have to work with the local government. So from the local government, they meet the community heads. So it is through the community health that the community health will meet the other town communities. Then from there, they can be able to manage and safeguard the properties of the government in the community.
Security needs to be put in place to guide those facilities. Health centers, schools, and all that. Security needs to be beefed up in various locations where we have these facilities.
It's just for the government to have this synergy between them and the communities. That's one. After they have gotten this sort of synergy, then they will look at those things, maybe security or anything that can affect government properties there. If they can work together, the town can raise up some sort of a palliative before government can come in fully, because such government properties, there's supposed to be sort of government providing security for them. But before then, the town supposed to come up first, knowing that it's their responsibility.
Nye ha nkwado pụrụ iche. Ọ bụrụ itinyere anyị ihe dị ka ihe na-enye anyị igwe ọkụ, ịrapụ ya, ndị ori bịa fa na-atọrịsị ya. Ihe echekwa ndị ga na-echekwa ọ ga-awọwụ na ihe dị otu a dị, ha enwewu ume wee chụ ndị dị otu a n'ihi na enwere ndị ọjọọ n'obodo.
Edora gọọmenti bụ ịgba mbọ na-apụ na ha na-ewetagasịrị anyị ibe ga-eme ka mmadụ na-adị ndụ nke ọma na-aga n'iru na mmepe dịka ha na-eme. Mana nchekwebie dụkwara anyị nwazi ndị emere ihe anwa anyị na onwe anyị emere ife na ọ bụrụ na gọọmenti bịara fụ na ebe mmadụ bi wee gbapuo mmiri ka ndị nọ ebe a wee nwee ike na-enwe mmiri ọṅụṅụ na mmiri paji atọ egbo mkpapa n'ụzọ dị iche iche. Ọkwa ndị nọ n'ogbe anwa ka ọ dọrọ ị na-echekwebe mmiri gọọmenti ama nsizi n'ebe fa na wee bịa na-echekwebe mmiri ndị dịka ndị igwe ndị PG ndị local government youth leaders and the AVG is something they will come together to have a communal understanding, at least employ people from that particular areas in which are those things. Unlike the street lights, Governor Willie in different places, the generators now power chaffer, these are the things. Matter after his dispensation, those things can continue to function. Or if the community people gather together, once they have that understanding, they know themselves. It's something they employ people from their particular place, not outsiders. It's them that will protect their properties.
Son, being good at something requires strength. It requires putting in more. That's why the new improved Bonvita is packed with vitality and a richer, creamier taste.
All right. Welcome back. It's still Good Morning Anambra, and we're talking about protecting government facilities in our communities. And we have with us in the studio Mr. Paulson Okeke, Public Affairs Analyst, and Honorable Leo Muba, TC Chairman, Oka South Local Government Area. Also remember you can join the discussion by calling the phone lines on our screen on your TV set so that you can ask questions and also make contributions to the topic. I'll come back to you, Mr. Paulson. You were making a point before we went on that break, and there were some views being expressed on the street. Some people were emphasizing more on what the local government will do, what the President Generals will do, but you were emphasizing maybe on personal commitments, people's commitments.
On reorientation of the people.
Yeah, that is where it will start. Because if you are not committed to a project, even if with PG, the Igwe and the local government are saying something about it, you will not be interested. So what would be important is that we should change our attitude. First of all, we need attitudinal changes. That is where it starts. Then the leadership of the communities, the President General, the local government, and the Igwe themselves should build synergy. So with this synergy, they can embark on advocacy through sensitization within their communities. Now, transformer government is all right or be checked. Now, street light is all right or be checked. And they are artificial millionaires. You set up groups that will monitor all these things. Because government will not leave worker to go to Umunze. It's not the duty of the governor. The governor has done his own part by providing all these things. When I mean the governor, I mean the government. They have not done their own by providing all these things. It is left for you, who is the end user, to now protect it, to last for you.
All right. The governor, while at inspecting the road project at Eziaguli with the Ezu River Road, Aguleri, mentioned something. He said he asked communities while speaking there. He asked communities where government projects are being undertaken to give support to the contractors, adding that the state government will continue to play her own role. Now, beyond, apart from protecting those projects of government, how do communities, how do individuals support? I'm underlining that word support. How are they going to support government projects or where they're being carried out?
Yes. it is very necessary that these communities will support the government projects, especially the contractors who are doing the work. If you pose challenges to contractors when they are in your community to do one project or the other, that project will not flow very well. There are certain things the communities are supposed to do in order to assist. For instance, when I wanted to construct one bridge, covered bridge in one of the communities in my jurisdiction. So the communities, out of jubilation and joy, they came out and they used machetes to clear the pathways for us to be able to, because the day we came, we could not enter the place because it was bushy. So as I was making arrangements to tell people, to engage people who will come and clear the place, they opted to do it themselves. You see, so that kind of encouragement we've give you.
It's a good encouragement, but when we say supporting the government in their efforts to institute these projects in our communities, perhaps we mean something like what some communities are doing. Like I know that of Enugu, that have instituted a task force to monitor traffic in the area, and then that of sanitation. And I know people like the Oruku community, they build roads. Some build, health centers, and then ask for government to send medical personnel to that. These are kind of things that we expect communities to do to help governments in their areas, possible.
Yeah, you see, we are the Igbos. If you check the history of the Igbos, you see that since after the Civil War, there is this self-help effort communities embark on. And that is what helped in development, because you know that the federal government abandoned us, and the communities resorted back to themselves, begin to tax themselves to build hospitals, build roads, build water facilities, and electricity, name them. So mostly in Igbo communities, this self-help effort had always been there to support the government. Those people, it's only this, maybe in this decade that it is dwindling, and it needs to be revived.
Okay. It needs to be revived.
It needs to be revived.
Chief Mumba, yes. I know that government build, boreholes in different communities. Yes. After a month or two, they will tell us that it's not working. But when they build in their own different houses, it works. It works. Yes. So why is it that way?
Yeah, because we have a lot of bandits in our society.
What do we do to them? Are we going to continue this way?
Do you know that they go and uproot this equipment, this sumo? You know, and you know how expensive it is.
It's because you custodians of the community have not done well. Because you're supposed to have vigilantes that will monitor all these things to make sure that they are not vandalized.
Yes, they are there. The vigilantes are there. The security agencies are there. The police are there. All of them are there. But you can never stop. The pipeline vandalization, electric power line vandalization. You know, in one of the communities, not in my area anyway, I got a report that one of these transformers, that somebody went and tapped energy from that transformer. I was using the transformer in his house.
And somebody is aware without reporting.
Yes, it was reported. That was how I came to know about it.
Okay.
It was reported. But the person is lucky that he didn't come from my area. Otherwise, I would have thought.
But is there anything you did to communicate to the person he is from his area to do something about?
No, they've already handled it.
Okay.
They've already handled it. And,
all right. That's how far we'll go on this discussion segment, looking at protecting government facilities in our communities. Let me take you in 30 seconds, Paulson. What will be your advice to our viewers? 30 seconds.
Actually, I keep on saying we need attitudinal changes. Let us change our attitudes towards government property.
Thank you.
Let us regard it as it is our own. Because the way you treat your own thing, you go outside, you treat something
Thank you very much, Paulson Okeke. Honorable, in 30 seconds, your advice.
In the same line, I want our people to change their style. Change their style of their attitude towards government facilities.
Okay, thank
Starting
you.
From the root to the top.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Leo Mumba, Chairman, Oka South Local Government Area, for joining us this morning, and Mr. Paulson Okeke, Public Affairs Analyst. Dalo. All right, stay with us as we look at a very important topic again as in our second discussion segment.
TV is where we get to the roots of disturbing matters affecting